Have you ever felt a heaviness inside, even when nothing seems wrong on the surface? That weight, that silent tension behind your breath, is often born from lies, from stories we tell others, from falsehoods we whisper to ourselves. It lingers in the mind, creeping into every thought until peace becomes an illusion. Maybe you've told a small lie today, a fib to avoid conflict, a half-truth to save face. Or maybe you've hidden your real feelings, buried your truth so deeply no one can see them, not even you. We all do this, it's human. But every lie, big or small, builds a cage around your spirit, your clarity, your calm. Why do we lie? Because it seems easier. The truth demands courage. The lie offers a quick escape, a mask to smooth awkward edges. But that mask presses heavy. With every lie, your inner voice grows faint and distorted. Over time, you begin to distrust yourself. You double-check your own words in your mind. You hesitate before speaking. You live in fear that someone might unravel your stories. And that fear is exhausting. Imagine your mind as a calm lake. Truth is like clear water. When nothing disturbs it, it reflects perfectly. But lies are like tossing rocks. Ripples spread, distortions deepen. The reflection fractures. You no longer see yourself. You only see distortions. Here's something powerful: when you begin to live honestly, the ripple stops. The water stills. Your reflection returns, first slowly, uncertainly, then more sharply, clearly. You remember who you are, not the stories you spun, but the essence beneath. If you stay with me until the end of this video, I promise you this: by the last section, you will feel a shift. You will see how honesty can free you, free your mind, free your voice, free your life. You won't just hear words, you'll feel them. And then you'll know honesty is not a burden, it is a release. So ask yourself again, what lies are you carrying today? What truths have you silenced? And are you ready to let them breathe once more? They say one lie can change everything. And it does, but not just on the outside. The real damage happens inside, because the moment you lie, you don't just hide the truth. You fracture something within you. You create a split, a division between who you are and who you pretend to be. At first, it feels harmless, a quick excuse, a small escape. No one gets hurt. You walk away thinking it's behind you. But your mind doesn't forget. The body doesn't forget. Your nervous system records it. That small lie becomes a crack in your identity. And if you don't repair it, it widens. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance, the tension between your actions and your values. It's the quiet war between who you are and what you do. And over time, that war wears you down. It's why you feel anxious without knowing why. It's why you can't fully look people in the eye. It's why even in moments of peace, there's a restlessness in your soul. Every dishonest word chips away at your authenticity. And when you lose that, you lose connection. Not just with others, but with yourself. Think about it. How can you respect someone who doesn't tell the truth? Now ask yourself, how can you respect yourself if you don't? Self-respect isn't something you get from others. It's something you build one decision at a time. And honesty is the foundation. When you lie, you might protect your ego, but you poison your soul. The human mind is wired for congruence. We are mentally healthiest when what we say, what we feel, and what we do are all aligned. That alignment is where peace lives. That's where confidence is born. It's the quiet power of knowing you are real. That your words match your heart. That your actions match your values. And here's what most people never realize: the world doesn't break you. You break yourself when you live in ways that betray who you are. The moment you lie, you don't just deceive someone else. You tell yourself, I am not enough. My truth isn't safe. I need to pretend to be accepted. That message repeats in the subconscious until you begin to believe it. And belief shapes identity. You see, people think lies protect their reputation. But the real cost is internal. Because now, every interaction is filtered through fear. What if they find out? What if I slip? What if the truth catches up? This fear may not scream, but it never stops whispering. You start to live in defense, always guarding, always watching. That's not living, that's survival. But you were not made to survive. You were made to live fully, boldly, honestly. And it starts with choosing truth, even when it's hard, even when it's messy, even when it costs you something. Because every time you tell the truth, you rebuild yourself. You bring the pieces back together. You begin to heal the fracture. You stop being at war with yourself. Honesty is a mirror, and most people avoid it because they're scared of what they'll see. But the mirror doesn't hurt you. It shows you where to grow, where to clean, where to evolve. Without that mirror, you wander through life blind, tripping over the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes, and wondering why nothing changes. But with truth, you begin to see, you become conscious, you gain clarity, and clarity is power. When you live honestly, you no longer need to remember lies. You don't need to build stories. You don't need to wear masks. You become free, not perfect, but real. And being real is what gives you strength that nothing can shake. So ask yourself now in the silence of your mind, where have I been lying? To others or to myself, not to feel shame, but to awaken. Because the moment you see the lie, you have the power to break it. And when you break the lie, you rebuild the truth. And when you live in truth, you become whole again. There's a reason honesty feels heavy, because it carries the full weight of truth. It takes strength to speak your truth, for especially when your voice shakes, especially when you know it might change everything. That's why honesty isn't for the weak. It's for the bold, the courageous, the ones who are done hiding, the ones who are ready to live unfiltered, unafraid, and unchained. The world teaches you that honesty is risky, that it makes you vulnerable, that it exposes you. But that's only part of the truth. Because behind that risk is power. Honesty doesn't just reveal what's real, it reveals who you are. It's the gateway to your authentic self. It's the voice that says, I am done pretending, I am ready to live fully. And when you reach that place, something shifts inside you. You stop seeking approval. You stop fearing rejection. You stop negotiating your worth. Because you finally understand honesty is the purest form of self-respect. It's easy to lie. It's easy to say what others want to hear. It's easy to wear a mask to fit into rooms that were never built for you. But what's easy often costs the most. Because every time you betray your truth to please others, you abandon yourself. And that abandonment doesn't fade, it echoes. But when you choose honesty, you stop echoing. You start resonating. There's something magnetic about a person who lives in truth. They don't have to shout. They don't have to prove anything. Their energy speaks before their words ever do. That's the hidden power of honesty. It doesn't just set you free. It makes you undeniable. And that kind of power can't be faked. It can't be forced. It can only be built one honest moment at a time. When you lie, you build a prison. When you're honest, you build a foundation. And on that foundation, you can build anything. Peace, purpose, confidence, connection. Because people are drawn to truth, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's raw. We are wired to respond to what's real, not perfection, not polish. Authenticity. There's a deep strength in saying, this is who I am, this is what I feel, this is what I stand for, even when it's messy, even when it's not what people expect. Because that kind of truth doesn't just change your life, it gives others permission to change theirs. When you live honestly, you become a mirror. You reflect courage, you reflect integrity. You reflect the kind of freedom most people don't even know they're missing. That's the paradox. Most people lie because they think it keeps them safe. But honesty, true, grounded, unapologetic honesty, is what actually makes you unshakable. And it's not about being brutally honest with the world. It starts with being honest with yourself. Can you admit when you're wrong? Can you confront what you're avoiding? Can you sit in the discomfort of your own truth without numbing it, hiding it, or blaming someone else? Because that's where power lies. In the raw, unfiltered moments where you stop running, where you look your life in the face and say, no more lies, no more masks, no more pretending. And that decision, that shift, changes everything. You stop fearing failure, because even if you fall standing in your truth. You stop fearing judgment, because you no longer need to impress people who don't even know the real you. You stop fearing consequences, because peace becomes more valuable than comfort. And when you reach that point, no one can control you with fear anymore. That's real freedom. That's power the world can't take away. So if you've been holding back, if you've been shrinking yourself to be accepted, or hiding your truth to be safe, this is your reminder: you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. And in a world full of filters, masks, And half-truths, being real, is the most powerful thing you can be.